All right. There we go. All right, guys. I'm just launching up the streams. Give me a second. We are, this is the first time we're doing a dual stream between, just making sure everything's all right. But yeah, so let's see here. We got YouTube going. You know, and really optimized. I'm actually running this off my laptop because I want to be portable. So I'm going to see how well it actually works doing all this on a laptop. It's going to be pretty impressive, but excited. All right. So we should see Twitch pop up here. All right. So we are officially live on both our Twitch stream and YouTube. It's looking good. I don't see any problems. I'm going to just do a little bit of a feedback. Hopefully it doesn't loop in. Should have muted desktop audio so it'd be all right. So 4K 60 horizontal. So welcome back, guys. Again, we're dual streaming between Twitch and YouTube. So I'll tweak the bitrate if there's any kind of anomalies there, but looking pretty good. Yeah, it's exciting, man. All right, let me get a little bit set up here. So I know there's usually like a pause screen when people are doing this, but I'm gonna just do this all on the fly. So I will hide some of these auto playing screens. Make sure the machine's happy. Yeah, it's going. It's cool. It's good stuff. I'm going to drop that down. It's looking clean. 720/60 on the preview there and there. Make it up to date. So we're pretty much just going to hang out. I'm actually going to try to figure out some good stream ideas for upcoming streams. See, 720/60 should be good there. Drop the quality, make sure it's happy. Keep my machine nice and cool. All right. Yeah, it's going, man. Just check out the audio mixer. I'm gonna also make sure like the actual sound doesn't have any feedback or anything like that. So shouldn't be. I'm listening to it on the listening to the stream. Latency is amazing. Twitch is actually finally catching up with YouTube a little bit. You can actually push a 4K stream to Twitch, but it's still 8-bit. They don't do HDR. But they'll take a 4K stream. So like you can, cause you have to push the same kind of stream out for YouTube and Twitch. So it's looking good. Quality's good. It's sharp, you know. We're technical. We got to get all the fancy, like, you know, features in there and everything like that. But yeah, we are also going a little bit late because we're trying to, you know, be available for the people that we have on the other side of the planet. So thanks for joining, guys. Say hi in the chat and let us know what you're kind of wanting to look at. So the plan a little bit today is we might mess around with some generative AI. You know, I have to see if I have a Google VO set up on here to do some video content. It's a little bit hard to do things live. And I really, if I'm getting some beautiful HDR stuff, I'm going to definitely post that into videos. And then we're also thinking about other kinds of streams we want to do where we can do maybe competitive kind of streams, you know, I don't know, mix it up, either that or with a video, but we're trying to do more live stream content, see how that goes. So especially with our audience in other areas. So it's kind of tricky though, because I can't have caffeine too late. So I'm drinking I guess a good slippery elm tea. I don't know if you guys know what that is, but if I caffeinate up, I'm going to be up all night, and I don't know if I want to pull those streams. We used to actually do that. So let's see, on the Twitch side of things, we got people coming and going, but I don't know if we have our normal folks. We actually been doing Twitch for almost streaming about, I think it's like 8 years now. Going on 10. I think we started it around 2017. So, but yeah, we have a lot of people joining us on YouTube, so we're trying to get into that. I don't know if anyone's kind of seen some of our videos. We're doing a little bit of tech content, just doing what we can to make it interesting, right? Let's see. But yeah, the stream is just holding up tight. I'm giving it a minute, seeing how it's going, and it's solid. 4K, 60 frames on a laptop, man. I'm pretty impressed. So, excuse the allergies here, but let's see. I will flip it over to see the preview real quick. Yeah, it's good. See if I can do the live preview on here without messing it up. Yeah, it's holding up. That's good. Cool. So, let's see what we got. We're going to just check out some things on X, but I'm going to try to catch up on some tech news and do some AI stuff. If you guys have any suggestion for stream content, that'd be great. We're getting back into it, so it's a little bit of a process. All right. Anyway, so I'm going to look here. I got my filter going on. I don't know if I want to do that one right there. I feel like the politics is a bad idea. But you know what? I might flip it on in a minute. Definitely would be a lot more interesting talking about that one. But I'm going to stick with science and tech and gaming right now. Maybe some AI. Let's see what... Well, I'll throw that in the mix. Hold off on the politics. Oh, I've seen this one before. Some of these, I feel like they just keep getting reposted. Yeah, instead of just taking it straight. It's kind of like stairs, right? You're not just jumping all the way up. You got to go upstairs. I don't know if it'd be fun talking about physics, though. You know, some of the physics quizzes you see online, they look like they're good kind of little quizzes or questions, but if you kind of know what's going on, they're a little bit like BS. Like they're impossible situations. And I don't know if they know that, but a lot of those quizzes are actually, they don't have an answer. Let's see. It's a little skit. I'm going to move off that. Oh, man. Okay, well, that's tomato paste. I'm not going to... ooh. Okay, so don't stand under a tree to avoid lightning. Dude, that's crazy. All right, hold on. I'm gonna check that one out. That's crazy. Is that real or is this AI? This looks like AI, dude. Because people actually do survive lightning strikes, and that tree's still standing. So, I'm gonna call cap. That is AI. Yeah, some crappy people in the chats. 100% AI. Let's see what it says. Happened years before AI, really? Because the tree would have taken the strike. I don't believe that, actually. Because the tree would have taken the strike and went all the way. Just don't lean on the tree. That's the important part. Don't touch the tree. Because then you become a path. All right. Man, there's just all kinds of... Like, these shorts are dime a dozen now. Ships closing. Well, yeah, that's not good. All right. Anyway, so I'm not sure why I'm seeing this. I thought I picked science and tech. This I don't know if this is science and tech, gaming, and I guess the AI one probably. Their algorithm's a little bit messed up. It's just showing me whatever. Oof. I did not need to see that. Oh man, I'd kill that guy. Ugh. Definitely not science and tech. Definitely not AI, because that actually happened. Yeah. It's crazy. All right, I'm going to mix it up. This is the problem with X, is you're just going to get whatever. Like a lot of the shorts feed, I think I might scroll YouTube shorts. It's like way more user-friendly, I guess. Oh, is that did it say snooze 2 topics? Hold on. I don't want to snooze. That's what I want. Snooze topics. You don't want to see. Okay. There we go. That's stupid. Wouldn't you want to pick what you want? All right. So I'm going to do all of it but science and tech. That's why I'm seeing a bunch of weird stuff. So I'm going to snooze all of that. I think I need to go into my account settings or something, but I don't want to do that right now. And keep science, tech, and gaming. And we're actually working on a lot of cool projects, but it takes time to do some of this stuff. So I can't talk about a lot of it. One of the things that's really cool is I might actually do a video showing off our storage systems that we're building. Where a single storage unit, I think it takes like 45 drives. And with the I think we have 8 to 10 terabytes. You can get 20 plus terabyte drives now in them. So this thing, a single unit's in the petabytes, and we have 10 of those. So yeah, we can do crazy capacities. That would be really fun. I don't know. It'd be a cool video. I don't know if it's a fun stream, but yeah, you got to really be into tech to see that. But it's really cool stuff. Just the vast size of everything. But yeah, I'm a big Claude guy. I like it a lot. It actually does a good job. Although I know they go back and forth. What is this? Nope. Let's see. I'm guessing that's politics. Indian delusion. Oh man, I'm gonna get off X. I think we're switching to YouTube, guys. This is getting wild. It's like if I keep going down this feed, let me try this. Hold on. It's like whatever. I mean, is that science studying humans, Homo sapiens? Let's see. All right, let's just go for gaming. Let's just do gaming. Let's see if it can do that. Yeah, it can't. X has a terrible filter. Like, are there not tags or anything? This is crazy. It's the same generic filter, right? I think if you're scrolling X, it's going to be just crazy politics and popular culture stuff, you know? So, all right, I'm going to pull it off real quick because I'm going to switch off. Let me try to pull up some stuff on YouTube. YouTube is actually pretty good at being accurate. Like, what you look for is actually what you're going to get, you know? So, Andrew Tate's life falling apart. Kind of curious, man. He vanished. I don't know what happened with that guy. You know what? I'm going to new tab it just because I'm curious, but yeah. I know Kai Sinet's actually back. He did his Streamers University thing. I don't know how that went, but I saw a little bit of it, and it was something. It was interesting, but they did just weird, like fashion shows. I saw the ending, the closing, and then maybe some clips of it. Maybe some like competitions and stuff. But I figured it was like a money grab for streamers. If they could be a part of it, and there's a lot of popular streamers, big and small. But if they could be a part of it, they actually can grow their audience and I think that's what he said in the end. They can share their audience with each other, get to know each other. So the over optimization of YouTube. Let's see. I'm queuing up a few things. And I see a lot of you hanging out in the chat in both streams, so just feel free to say hi if you want. You know, I'll respond. I'll check them when I can. Let's see. I know Linus Tech Tips. I don't know if y'all watch him very much. He's been a little bit under fire from one of his workers after responding, saying that he was building his third house, I think, and that guy couldn't even afford his first. He was still renting, so like, yeah, that was pretty bad. And I know the guy. He was in all the videos. I think he helped build the company. It's like, at least give him I think he could have gotten a little bit more than he did, but Anwar turned 6-second videos into multi-million-dollar business. That might be good to look at. This stuff was hilarious. Don't care. Do any of y'all actually follow Mr. Beast? I ended up subbing at one point, but I don't really watch much of his stuff. I've probably seen a total of like 3 of his videos or something. It's usually clips through other channels is where you'll see it. The rise and fall of Mr. Beast burger. That I actually did like. They were good burgers. He made more money off of me off the burgers than he did the streaming or the shows. Temu. Really hate Temu. Yeah, no kidding. Like scams, dude. Just all right. Well, let's see. I'll probably go through a couple. Oh man, I might actually check out some of these. Okay, I got a few. I'll flip it back. Let's see. So,
innocent men don't run; they clear their name in court.
I'm just curious about this because
from
he was
a private
huge.
jet in March 2025. Exactly 484 days later, US Marshals surrounded him outside a bare-knuckle boxing event, placed him in handcuffs, and took him into federal custody. As of this recording, Andrew and his brother, Tristan, are sitting in a holding cell awaiting extradition to the UK, where they are expected to face 59 charges ranging from forcing himself onto women to the alleged possession of CSAM. Just when they thought they had escaped it all and were publicly celebrating their freedom, it was all taken away from them in an instant. Now, it looks like this could be the beginning of the end for the Tate brothers. Hi, I'm the Internet Anarchist. I create
they fought their charges.
I think it was in the UK. Today, we're going into the latest news surrounding the Tate brothers, and revealing not only what led up to it, but what's in store for their future.
I think it might have been their home country. And then now that it's going to be the UK. So...
spent any amount of time on social media over the past 4 years, you've probably heard of Andrew Tate, whether you wanted to or not. So I'm not going to waste 20 during lockdown. In 2022, Romanian authorities raided their properties and charged both brothers with human trafficking, grape, and forming an organized crime group.
The Matrix has attacked me.
Prosecutors allege they used what's known as the lover-boy method, presenting themselves as romantic partners to lure women to Romania before coercing them into producing online adult content and taking the majority.
They're going through all this stuff. What's going on with these guys now?
To sign yet another mouth breather's autograph. Then he sees it. Out of the corner of his eye, he spots the officers closing in. The entire thing appears to have been a carefully planned ambush. Within seconds, undercover agents surround him from every direction, having been through multiple tweets taunting his accusers.
Yeah, okay.
One of my main chicks is
Ill-planned yacht parties, host events, network his outfit, myself included, because let's be honest, that might be one of the fruitiest outfits a man.
Is that the...
That's all over. This wasn't just a wake-up call about where Andrew Tate stands legally, it was also a wake-up call about his popularity. Almost immediately after the arrest, people across Twitter and other social media platforms started making fun of him. Especially his outfit, myself included, because let's be honest, that might be one of the fruitiest outfits a man has ever worn. Some people even claimed they found the exact outfit on a women's clothing website.
Weird.
AI
weird
generated.
outfits. All right. Anyway,
Around the same time, a 3-hour.
Like a
if you're starting to feel like all YouTube videos are beginning to look and feel the same, you're not crazy. It is happening, and there's a reason for it. That reason is called Outlier theory, and it's simultaneously one of the best and worst things to ever happen to YouTube. You see,
you know, I noticed that actually a lot of my once it starts getting trained on your feed, you just don't get new content unless it's super popular, and it's kind of annoying. Actually, I hate that because part of the reason I liked YouTube is I would always get suggested new people, even if they're big or small, and I like the diversity. Right now, it's like I'm being fed the same people whether I like them or not. Maybe because I'm watching them, one or two of their things, but I'm not yet subscribed, and they're trying to get me to subscribe. I don't know. But I start seeing a lot of certain people's, like on the organic side of things, that I don't really care to see. I don't know what was going on with that. And it wasn't like that before. They definitely changed it up.
As a YouTuber, you need to bring in views. The more views you bring in, the more money you'll make. The more feasible the dream of being a YouTuber becomes. And whenever there's a metric to optimize for, especially if that metric is linked to money, there are going to be strategies for how to best optimize for it.
That's what it's about.
Back in the early days of YouTube, these strategies revolved around tips and tricks, like using better tags, or being more reactive with your facial expressions, or using brighter colors in your thumbnails. That was the extent of what we knew and understood about YouTube. And
I gotta get better at it too, actually.
Those tips and tricks
we're getting started.
But then as a platform grew,
we're actually getting pretty started on like putting out more videos, and we're gonna improve with more footage, and our editing process has gotten better. So we're working on it. It is actually a lot, you know. Just the work this girl's putting in here, it probably took like days.
Competition grew with it. Top YouTubers
There's
started
some tools
bringing
that
in
help,
millions of dollars.
like they're just
Being
doing
a
that.
YouTuber became the most coveted dream job for the next
Probably
generation.
like 30 minutes
Businesses started realizing
or
that
longer.
YouTube was a
You
huge
gotta get all those
opportunity
little
for lead
thumbnails.
generation and marketing. And suddenly, what used to work before just didn't
ton of
cut
work.
it anymore. And this competition gave rise to an entire new class of jobs: video editors, thumbnail designers, producers,
maybe
and
the
at
views
very
aren't as good,
top,
right?
YouTube
You're
strategists,
putting a lot of work in.
people whose literal job it is to study YouTube all day, every day, figuring out what drives views and why. I happen to be one of them. And as more and more analytical minds entered the space, what we understood about YouTube strategy started to rapidly evolve. Best practices shifted. Because today's top YouTubers, to be honest, I hate it. These videos have all done well, overperforming for their respective creators. From a purely views-based approach, these are all successful videos. But this widespread adoption of outlier theory, while being incredibly useful in stabilizing the average view count of creators who subscribe to it, is also producing a version of YouTube that feels increasingly homogenized. Now, some of you may be thinking, every single video you make is based off the best answer, but that peak may just be a local maximum. There could be a much higher hill somewhere else, a far better outcome, but the algorithm will never find it because getting there would require going downhill first. And if all you ever do is what's already been proven to work,
actually, I noticed
you are that algorithm.
Yeah, because
you found a hill that performs.
I'll notice that when I push videos out, they'll get
every unproven
tested,
idea looks
and
like
you'll see
going
it
downhill.
go kind of up and down
yes,
based off
it's
the
true
views.
that unvalidated ideas
And like the audience response,
like
the views go up, but the clicks are low, and then YouTube pushes it to a different group,
much better,
and then the views are lower and the clicks are up, and it's like, oh, okay, that's your group. It actually, you can actually see that in the stats, which is pretty cool.
Your follow-up version, no matter how well executed, will only ever bring in a fraction of the original's views because it's no longer novel. And if it's video performance that you really care about, what's going to bring in the most views in the long run is your own winning concept that you can be first to, that you can capture the bulk of the attention with. But you'll never find that remarkable concept if you only stick to what's already been done before. So if those are all the risks of over-reliance on outlier theory, what are we supposed to do
keep throwing
instead?
stuff out there and seeing what sticks, basically.
That's probably tell
what I've
you
noticed.
To just be original and stop looking at what others are doing.
So I'm going to switch back and forth because we're also doing it on the shorts. So I want to make sure they can actually see me. I just realized that. But what I noticed is you just have to keep throwing out videos, and different videos actually stick with different people, like different audiences. And like I was saying earlier, you'll see it in the metrics. You'll see a high push on the views, but you'll see like low clicks or interactions. And then YouTube will kind of play with the numbers. You see it going in stages for a few hours or like 6 hours, and then way lower viewers, but way high clicks. And so you can see the algorithm kind of pushing to different groups internally. You can kind of just see it as someone who's posting, which is pretty cool, you know? But yeah, I'm going to switch back and forth so that the people watching on the shorts
just do your own
feed
thing. And
can
I
actually
get it.
see what's going on.
I really do. But as someone who has a literal YouTube strategy channel, I'm also inclined to tell you that if something works, it works for a reason. Growing on YouTube's hard enough without banning yourself from one of the most effective methods out there, especially if you don't yet have the skills and intuition required to ideate and execute on killer concepts of your own. Those skills can take years to develop, but you may not last those requisite years if you're not getting any views in the meantime, unless you're supremely dedicated and completely emotionally unattached from the performance of your videos and are okay spending years of your life without seeing much outcome. It's a romantic idea, but 99.99% of people don't fall into that category. Like it or not, Outlier theory is an incredibly powerful tool to have at your disposal, especially if bringing in a consistent, predictable view count is important to you. So I'm not telling you to abandon Outlier theory, but it may be worth adjusting how you use it. You see, when we use say, so your message can reach the people.
And I remember posting that video, I'm like, okay, like, I'm not gonna do anything dumb.
Stuff's wild.
Continue working. This could be just like a one-hit wonder situation. But then I posted the second one, and the same thing happened. This was like 2 days later. I remember for the first video, WorldStar was like, hey, like, can we use your video and post it on our website for $200? And I was like freaking out. I think a week after like my 10th video, I just dropped out of college. It's so crazy. And it all started from like me being this small kid, and I don't want to get bullied, so I got to resort to comedy. And now to avoid getting bullied, it created an empire.
Yeah, I mean, his stuff was hilarious though. I mean, but it's starting to, I think it might start, he might be dying down a little bit. But his skits are just out of this world.
Hey everybody, welcome to the Forbes Top Creators Show. I'm Forbes editor Steve Bertoni, taking you on a deep dive into the creator economy and sharing tips and lessons from the world's biggest social media stars. And today, I'm very lucky to have
Anwar,
short sketch comic entertainer, entrepreneur.
Short sketch, that's like hilarious because it's actually
joining us
for shorts, right?
But I heard this is your first podcast ever. I don't believe that.
Ever, I swear. Like you could search the web. Search the web. This is the first time.
It's your first kiss.
I only do it for special people.
You're always remember me.
Yeah, Forbes. I bet they paid him
first.
So you're
I'm sure he did do it for
social
special
media. In that, I heard your first video you ever posted went crazy and viral overnight. You're one of the few, like, you know, it's like your first at bat in the major leagues and you hit a grand slam. Tell me about that. Take me to that moment.
Okay. Wow. We're gonna take it way back. Okay, so
rewind.
Jabawi.
First off,
what is? I know he's Arab, but Jabawi. Where's that from?
Growing up, I was always like the class clown. So no matter where I'm at, like especially school was like my platform before there were any platforms, right? So
you the class clown the teachers liked or didn't like? Like they respected you.
Some teachers, the younger teachers, liked me.
Okay,
you know, but yeah, I would. It's funny because I would treat my class kind of like, okay, what joke am I coming in with next? And I kind of like took making people laugh seriously. I think because I'm like, I was always the shortest and skinniest kid in class. So to avoid getting bullied, so I would like resort to like making the cool kids laugh. And so my whole life, that's who I was until I started wrestling in high school. And
he did wrestling.
I was in PE and I was like always.
I think it's good if you're short
fit and stuff. I was like doing like 100 pull-ups, and then the wrestling coach sees me
and says, "It's an advantage in wrestling."
Hey, you, have you heard of wrestling? I'm like WWE? It's like, no, real wrestling. I will never forget trying out, and I just fell in love with the sport, and it completely shifted from like me being this goofy, silly guy to being this very disciplined and like waking up on time, like eating the right things. So it's just so crazy how I kind of used both those things and started a whole social media career. And so after high school, I started taking college super serious, you know, started educating myself, and like, I was like, I wanted to be a doctor. Like right after high school, I'm like, I'm gonna be a doctor. So I went to community college because I was messing up like all the years in college. So I opened up.
Where'd you grow up?
I grew up in Pittsburgh, I grew up in the city of Bell. It's like, I don't know if you're familiar with like Southeast LA.
Okay.
Yeah, city of Bell. Shout out city of Bell. So
All right, well,
during college, I opened up a gold shop.
I'm gonna get through this
What
one.
the heck is this? Like, I thought it was like a
You
glitch
can watch
or
this
something.
at Forbes, but I don't want to get like copyright
That
strikes.
second video pops off. I pretend like I'm still going to college. Don't tell anyone. I block my family, everyone that had Vine. It wasn't as big, but so I just kept doing it and kept doing it, kept doing it. And I think a week after like my 10th video, I just dropped out of college. I kept the gold shop, kept the gold shop, had to make money.
Yep.
And I just never looked back from there. Just moved out to Hollywood and just had this journey I've been going on for years now.
You had the gold shop.
It's almost
You're
like
doing Vines.
maybe like 10 years.
Now fast forward to today. Tell me about your
Vines?
media business.
Oh yeah, he's old.
And your brand and how you make money.
So I have a studio in downtown. I have 2 writers, 2 producers, just all the way around, just a full production team. And I hired really, really good people, really amazing, incredible, talented people. And
Because that's what it takes.
I've
It's actually a
pretty
lot
much
of
built
work.
an empire now that you
You gotta-
see on social media, and just I make my money through partnerships, through AdSense, in every way you could think of. Whether it's short form, long form, I do it all.
And what was the first brand deal that kind of made all the difference? Was there a certain moment where you think, I'm going to make it in this world?
Yeah, there was an Axe deal. It
Axe
was
body spray?
Axe body
The
spray.
body
And-
spray.
very
That's
nice.
the deal. That's it right there.
Such a deal. Yeah,
That's
thank
the
you.
bar,
But,
huh?
That's a weird compliment. That's a weird compliment, right?
That's funny.
It's a cute one.
Oh, yeah. Very cute.
Yeah.
If
So
you meet a stranger and you say, oh, by the way, you smell really good, that's really going to creep people out.
would it?
I think so.
It's-
Do a video. We'll test it out.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'll try it. Write that down, Chris.
Yes.
My producer's here. Just,
Perfect.
Yeah, I do every kind of content you could think of: long form, short form. Sometimes I go live, and whatever it is that can feed the engine.
I'm gonna let it go to the
I'll
next
do.
section. And I'll drop
How
out
do
of
you
it. and
come
move
up?
on.
Like, comedy's hard. Like in fact, I think it was BuzzFeed that started as like a comedy site, and then they realized it's really hard to be funny all the time, and they started quizzes and and they started media, or started news media. How much do you post? And take me through your process from like idea generation to video. Like, how long does that take?
Way back, it was like I would like go so hard, and I would
See how
shoot
these
something,
online games
edit
open
it,
out now.
post it same day. Now we kind of like to each phase to have its momentum, right? So if we're writing that week, we're just writing, so I'd rather write 10 sketches in a week and then shoot them the following week and then just be in post-production the following week. So it's just so much easier that way. You have more time, right? Because you could just like shift energy like into personal things. But just imagine like being creative and like your editor comes over to you and like, yo, we need to edit this thing. It's like, yo, like
I wonder how
we're
big
just writing this week.
Minecraft
So
actually still
that's
is.
how I do my creative
Minecraft
process
is
at the moment,
classic.
yeah.
It's hard to like switch brains.
Do
Like,
they really have it
it's
online?
one thing to be writing,
crazy.
performing, and editing are 3 different brain types.
Yeah, so we're really trying to expand to like bigger and better things, right? Like we
Whoa.
have 2 short films
gonna
that we're
leave
writing
that
this
up.
year. We have a full feature that
I'll move this
hopefully
into
we
here.
have done by the end of the year and get it into production. So it's pretty much buying time. That's what we're doing. We're buying time
on
with
the
this
production, so I'm gonna move on.
organization. And
I hate Temu. I can't stand Temu. When I hear that word, I have like a
Alright,
Winter
this is the
Soldier
last one
episode. It's just
before we
trauma
switch it
and
up.
trash. You're gonna be seeing spit fly out of my mouth here as I'm ranting and raving like an Arkham Asylum patient. I have on
This guy,
multiple
man.
occasions tried to interact with that platform, purchasing
He's
items,
been around
and
forever.
have yet to receive a
His-
single one. The orders are always
His Temu
canceled
Rant,
or
2
just
million views in a
vanish.
day.
I guess the Babadook somewhere along the way
Hilarious.
just abducts it, just steals my shit. I cannot even buy anything from there. I had more success buying pink sauce from the crazy lady on TikTok's latrine than getting a single thing delivered from Temu. So a couple of years ago, we did that video testing Wish products, like wacky Wish products, just getting a wide assortment, like this charcuterie board of just stupid shit. And yeah, the quality's bad, but it did at least show up and it was cheap. We tried to do the same thing back then with
I thought Temu at least
and the order
delivers
got
their stuff,
canceled
right?
for no reason. We just tried
Oh,
it
it's
again a couple
canceled.
weeks ago and went the extra mile to prove to Temu these are legitimate purchases from us for these items. And today the lobotomites over at Temu HQ canceled it again, saying that the things we submitted to prove it were
lobotomites, huh?
illegible. They can't read statements from like the credit card transaction, like the actual, like we gave them everything.
So there's like he's doing fraud orders,
you know,
is what they're
it's
tagging.
dog shit. And in fact, to even compare,
that's hilarious. All right, so I was actually seeing if there's Minecraft Online. This is pretty cool. Classic.minecraft.net. I guess they publish this. You know, I've only ever done Minecraft on an Xbox with my friend's kid before. I've never actually. I'm using a trackpad. This is terrible. Okay, there we go. Am I in the window? I'm locked in. Okay, I see. Let's get back to game. Wow, this is actually pretty cool. Dude. Okay, I'm bookmarking this. Hold on. This is actually pretty cool. And I think this is the legit original game. Just environmental destruction. It's crazy how simple this is. Let me see if it's WASD. All right, hold on. How do I... Is it number assigned? Okay, it is. So what's my build? Is it left click or right click? There's no build mechanic. Man, I'm going to need a keyboard mapping. There we go. Okay, on free space. So if I'm on free space, and then how do I go back to 1? All right. Shoot. It's going to be terrible. Get over there. Boom. Oh, crap. There it goes. Okay. Knock it out. So let's build. So left click, destroy, right click, build. I think it's a mode switch actually. Like I'm on build mode. Yeah, that's what it is. Build versus destroy. So right click switches mode, left click does the deed. Let me get out in the open. Is it actually? Okay, cool. Dude, such a simple game. And this thing just killed it. So let's try some stone. The OG Minecraft. I just knocked out a bunch. Okay, am I not in build mode? Build, dude. Okay, cool. Interesting. Okay, all right, I'm gonna get off of it, but yeah. It's crazy how powerful this game was, still is, and how simple the mechanics are. Let's see, let's generate small. Yeah, it's fine. That is insane. Is it an HTML5 game? Like, is it just using drawables? Can't even check. No, it's gotta be a container. That's crazy. Might make some caffeine here. Okay, hold on. I'm running this. So what's crazy is I'm actually running all this on a single laptop. I got 2 stream previews for the 16:9, 9:16 on YouTube. Preview for Twitch running. OBS doing a 4K 60 frame stream, pushing that out. And this Minecraft thing going on. And like it's all on a laptop. And it's just killing it, which is super impressive, man. I don't know if you can get laptops like this anymore now because of the memory issue. But actually, matter of fact, let me check that out. I'm keeping that in the list. Let's see about RAM prices. Check out X. That might actually be RAM prices worth checking out. Scalpers in China were hoarding RAM. Now they're losing it all. Yeah, I think it's actually coming back down. So they were just hoarding that?
兄弟们，内存大跳水
Scalpers
了，砸手里了，砸手里了，完蛋了，完蛋了。
Yeah. If they bought that many and they thought they're going to make money, they're screwed. There's no way. The one downside actually of this laptop that's frustrating is it's what makes it fast, but all the RAM is soldered on board. Like I think I don't know if it's built into even the chip but at least on board. So memory prices climb. Because I know AI, I think they pulled out of it. So let's see, RAM prices chart. Let's see if that helps. I think AI, a lot, they're not. They're like pulling out of orders because they're falling behind now. 4 months ago, that's already outdated. I don't even know where you can get a good read on this. To be honest. Let's see, Amazon RAM. Let's try to see marketplaces, see how that works. Seriously? So what's cool about Amazon? Wow. Well, that's 96 gigs of DDR5 though. So they have a price history thing. Let's see. That's crazy. They don't have it? Where's it at? Price history. Wow. I guess not. So not say, I guess this AI, they moved it over here. What's the price history? They used to have a little chart that you could just click. Now I gotta like talk to the AI or something. No, dude. It's not helping. All right, get out of here. Let's go with like a big brand. So it can actually tell us. So that's not bad. 32 gig kit. That's older. Because everything's trying to be DDR5. So here we go. 32 gig DDR5. So everything, I think, is still high, to be honest. They kind of hit it, though. Where is it? Yep. Not anywhere in sight. Oh well. Is what it is. So it's like, who cares about all that? Give me a chart of the price history. It's almost like some of these AIs are just more complicated for like not giving the answer. It just makes you go through more steps. Yeah. All right. You know what? Kind of don't like that. I'm going to ask Claude. Let's get a real AI in here. How are RAM prices today? Let's see. Let's see what it's got. It's going to be better. Check out YouTube. Well, yeah, let's check it out. We're still elevated, and it's genuine crunch right now. Yeah, they're still up. Let's see like a history though. It's giving me numbers, but give me a chart of its history. I think I know this guy. He has actually pretty funny skits, I think. Maybe. If it's the same guy. Oh, all right. So, like, he's got a abandoned Minecraft server. Let's see what's going on with that. Maybe people log into it. Who knows? Kick out Twitch tab by accident. Nope.
I'm a D from Reducto.
Oh, crap. Also click on it. Oh, I didn't have it, I guess, on that.
And today we're excited to release Deep Extract. Deep Extract is the most powerful scheme extraction agent we've built to achieve 100% accuracy on use cases that used to require a human in the loop.
6 years ago, I created a Minecraft server for a video that I abandoned.
That's
but
really
somehow, after all these years, there are still players on.
So, January 2025, $2.80 per gig for DDR5 and $1.80 for DDR4. And it just like, okay, that's over 2025. Let's go to a year later, $9.50 and $4.20. So like, that's massive. Basically 3 times for DDR5 and 2 times for DDR4. And DDR5 just continues to like 15.83 cents per gig. Yeah. Massive. That's like completely AI, man. That's gotta be. That's insane. Insane. All right. All right, clear up some of this.
Online. They've been playing every single day, hoping that one day I would return. It's loading. Oh my gosh, what is this? What is going on?
So,
wow.
I guess if you run a Minecraft server, people can just build whatever, right?
I guess it's time
and
to
it just
explore.
Runs continuous.
But I'll be doing it.
That's going to be like trashed for
because
sure.
I want to actually meet these players, learn why they're still here, and eventually is the exact same location where we filmed the gaming video 6 years ago, but it was now totally unrecognizable.
There are currently 46 online right now. It's crazy to think that thousands of people were here before.
Well, here, let's stay on this path and just get out of here. The server had created gigantic roads that led in every direction. So after a very long time and a few deaths, we met up.
If the world looks like this, I mean, what is there even to do?
Hopefully that and many other questions can be answered in this video. We
That's
then set
cool,
off to
actually.
find food or someone to talk to. We have walked over 1,000 blocks in this direction and the highway is still going. Someone built this. Wait, Nolan, turn
Took
around.
a whole day.
Turn around.
Probably a whole
What
week
is
or a
that?
month or something to do that.
Oh, whoa, look at that.
It seems this has turned into an anarchy server where there are no rules.
Yeah, you
And
got
as
no
we traveled
moderators,
this
for
road
sure.
for thousands of blocks, all we saw were abandoned builds and ruins of civilization. All of the trees, food, and other players were gone. That was until... Wait, guys, what? I see someone.
Was
Wait,
it
I
a
see
user?
a name tag.
You see somebody? Wait, I see a name tag, guys. I see a name tag.
Parched? Wait, hold up.
How many
I'm gonna
people
unmute
can you
game.
put on the
Hello?
server?
Parched.
Yeah, okay.
No, they put a name tag on a skeleton. That's crazy. I thought that was a person. No way, dude.
So we carried on exploring projects and history the next day with a plan.
Play.
I'm excited to see the pyramid. Again,
Know my number. What?
That's pretty crazy.
This server means
Pretty crazy. You know what? Let's see. How easy is it to start a Minecraft server? I mean, we have resources. We could do it, but I don't know if I would. It's got to be like worth it. Java? Oh, okay. File editing. Not a fan of Java. Is it not just like a binary? Very easy Minecraft realms. Always online, zero setup. So it's okay. So it's like a service. That's pretty simple. Paid third-party hosts, which we have our own hosting, so we could totally do that. But where's the like program? So it's a jar file. So Minecraft's in Java. Okay. So you want to start a Java Minecraft server. Let's see what it is. Let's see how I get it. Totally going to do it. Oop. Let's see. Server jar. Okay, great. Now that you figured it out. Where is it? Just give me the download. I had to run a Java file. So Minecraft server download. We might run one, dude. Oh, so they just give it to you. Let's see what these are. That's pretty cool. If you want to run a Minecraft multiplayer server by yourself, things get kind of involved. Okay, so that's just giving it its memory, jar, boom, no GUI. That's easy enough. Yeah, it's super easy. Looks like a lot of fun. And then what, like, so, okay, Windows and Linux. That's really cool. So then how do they launch it? I guess it would be in a runnable in a browser then. That's what it sounds like. It's probably like the example that they were showing. See how to play. It's like they should install it. Okay. Launch it. Boom. Install, create a folder, download, run the server. So then open, so you open just Minecraft. Go to multiplayer, add server. Okay, cool. So you can play it on any like console or anything. That's really neat, actually. That's actually pretty cool. Keeping that up. But, you know, gotta have a reason to do it. Maybe it'll be like a competition or like a special event or something. Because we don't want to just launch a boring server that's empty, right? If we do it, it's got to be like 1,000 people on it. Actually, let's see. What's the record of people on a Minecraft server? Let's see what that is. And see what its limit is. Because that would be pretty cool. Most concurrent players on a single server belongs to Hypixel. Wow. That's crazy. 216,000. Let's see. I'll get that down. That's insane. Like that'd be hard to hit, to be honest. You really got to get the word out. And then I don't know how they did it too. Because if it's a Java app, like Java is terrible with its performance. So previous was 34,000. How do you even, I don't know if it would even like run it. $24K online. Like, is that actively playing or something? Because I don't think Java, I kind of question it. I don't think Java can handle that. Can the jar file handle it? Like Java's really bad at really, really high concurrency. Yeah, see, single jar file cannot handle this load and will lag. Single threaded, RAM and CPU. So then, like, how, that doesn't mean they did it. So let's see. Hypixel, let's see what he's got. How did set Minecraft server record? What did they run? Let's see what they did. Scaling a massive network of hundreds of dedicated backend machines rather than running a single server instance. But then, like, are they on the same? So at that point, you're just running a whole network because you're not, I don't know if you're running like the same Minecraft world, right? I don't know. That just sounds like normal server stuff, man. That's what I was like. I'm questioning this record, dude. It's okay. Here we go. We got a video. This has got to be good.
Websites your competitors don't want you to
I know enough about tech to know that's like
website, and
I'm
it lets
calling
you find
cat.
out exactly
That's
how
BS.
did Hypixel go from this to whatever the this is? Back in 2012,
Because
before
if you have
Hypixel
the
was a
same
server, it was
number
this
of
dude,
users,
and his name was
there's
Simon.
no way.
Simon, who went by Hypixel Online, was a
Especially
prolific
not in,
map
like,
maker. He was
Java.
actually the guy who made Herobrine's Mansion, believe it or not. He and his business partner Felipe, that can't be right.
Felipe.
Okay. He and Felipe
It's
regularly
Argentina.
posted teasers of their maps to YouTube. But Simon especially found
Oh, so they're
immediate success.
serious.
Within
They got
4
maps.
months, he'd reached 50,000 subscribers. And mind you, this was in 2012. The most subscribed channel is the Gangnam Style
yeah.
guy with like 600K, so 50K was a lot. With the success of his videos,
2012,
his
yeah.
fans naturally wanted a place to discuss his creation. So he decided to launch the Hypixel Forums. Okay, different song. This one's gonna get me claimed. The forum had a problem though. Post after post, people were complaining about how frustrating these maps were to set up. This was 2012. People were stupid. But Simon needed some way to make these more accessible. And his solution? To launch the Hypixel server. In 2013, when the server launched in beta, it was intended to just host Simon's maps. Minigames were included, but only as sort of something on the side. Obviously, this was a strange strategy, and it became clear that most players preferred the minigames over the actual point of the server. And so the development shifted, leading to some of the earliest hits like Blitz survival games and TNT Run. The server was seeing some decent growth at this point, and finding your friends amongst the crowd was a challenge.
Want to play the server I found called Hypixel?
Yeah, sure.
I'm still trying to see how. Okay.
Where the
let's see.
f is this bitch? How does anybody
Playing
even find
Donkey
each
Kong
other on
country
here?
music.
Well, because Hypixel has a new feature, introducing /party, the perfect feature for you and your online buddies to play together.
The party
That might
system
have
and
been
bringing
new in
your friends was
2012.
actually viable, and it showed in the numbers. Because shortly after, it broke 10,000 concurrent players. Growth like this was
That's
unheard
crazy.
of. Even now, like this does not happen anymore.
You'd
But
have to
like
have
any
like
new
zones
company
where
during
you can
Hypixel's insane
warp,
growth,
you
they
know,
weren't making
where you're
enough
going
money
into a
to
new
sustain themselves
server
much
and it
longer.
loads.
Up until this point, Hypixel Hypixel was funded almost entirely by one $20 rank. Unlike today though, ranks were very unfair. Like the $20 rank offered double in-game coins, and then they added MVP and MVP Plus for respectively $100 and $150 each. So no matter how obnoxious that price was, for a while the revenue from kids with rich parents was enough to keep the server going. Then Hypixel's corporate overlord snatched them up like a cockroach in a tornado, only to be aggressively forced into an industrial blender and pulverized into a disgusting concoction. In other words, Mojang updated their EULA. Hypixel was forced to remove everything that could possibly be considered pay to win. Rank prices also had to be slashed, but to make up for it, Hypixel added a bunch of other random bullshit to make
it's
people
no longer
pay
like
for
a
it.
free
They had to
server.
scale their operation back a bit, but unlike other servers at the time, they implemented their pricing changes and went on to grow even faster than before. And that's due to a variety of factors, like the addition of Build Battle, YouTube Rank, which we'll talk a little more about later. But most importantly, a new silly little game called Skywars. Skywars began what my researcher calls modern Hypixel, or in other words, it totally revolutionized the server. Its simple and fast-paced gameplay was an instant success, with probably at least half of Hypixel's players on it at all times. It also showed the admins how much players love PvP, and as you'll see later, that became a theme on the server for the next few years. Ranked Skywars was added too, tracking people's performance and making the already competitive game even more cutthroat. But of course, when the stakes are this high, people are bound to find ways to cheat the system.
Hot diggity dog, this is awesome. Who are you?
You bitch. Another one gone. Amen. Whoop whoop.
Hypixel's furry anti-cheat was added to combat the ever-growing problem of cheaters, and ever since, the Hypixel admins and hacked client developers have been 1v1ing. Hacked clients are always evolving to bypass the anti-cheat, but the anti-cheat keeps evolving to prevent them. Funny enough. Realistically though, the hacker problem won't ever truly be over. But let's move on, since in the grand scheme of things, hackers really aren't that important. YouTube Rank, on the other hand, may not seem like a big deal, but I'd argue is one of the driving factors behind Hypixel's success. See, YouTube Rank is something pretty much everyone wants, and because of that, so many people who never otherwise start creating videos got their start making them on Hypixel. And that means Hypixel had nearly unlimited free promo from thousands of videos on their server. Speaking of YouTube Rank, I'm actually getting pretty close to it, and if you could subscribe, it would mean a lot, especially since I noticed after switching to making documentary videos, I don't gain anywhere near as many subscribers. Anyways, YouTube Rank may have been a smart addition, but Hypixel was far from the only server innovator. During this time, the multiplayer community was dominated by 3 main servers, with the other 2 being Mineplex and the Hive. And things continued like this for a while. But Hypixel was ruthless at what they did, and the Hive could not keep up, leading them to eventually shut down on Java Edition. Mineplex was so bad at managing their server that they recently shut down completely on both editions. That means Hypixel was left alone, free to prosper and develop into the server they are today. Mineplex is supposedly planning to come back though, so I guess we'll see how that goes. During all that craziness, Hypixel's lower ranking staff were generally unbothered by it, instead spending their time singing. They made a weekly event for them and their friends to peacefully partake in karaoke together.
Remember the taste of my lips,
Damn! I'll check back on them later though, hopefully nothing bad happens, because Hypixel was about to add duels and bed wars. These games solidified the server's reputation as the #1 place to PvP, and for a while it worked great for them. They got very comfortable in their position, however, to the point where they were completely blindsided by a new threat.
They're like actually
Minecraft was dying! From 2015 to...
What is an AI pen test? Well, this is the latest.
I don't know if Minecraft was dying. It's not dead. It's still like one of the top most games
Minecraft wasn't very popular with the youth. I talk about that a little more in my last
video,
which
Fortnite.
might add will
That's
be
when
available on
Fortnite
the
came
screen.
around.
To try and escape the decline Minecraft was currently facing, they began working on a standalone game called Hytale. Even before the game came out, people thought it looked really cool, but after the release, what? It's still not out? 8 fucking years later? Well, I'm sure Hypixel's working on some other projects, right?
Hey guys, we're launching Hypixel on Bedrock Edition.
Woo!
Actually, we made the decision to shut it down.
Why?
But we're going to launch Hypixel China instead. We can reach a whole new audience where Minecraft is banned.
Wait, so far you said you're making Hytale. We've got nothing. Then you said you make a Bedrock server and you just shut it down.
I think because they're trying to
this is gonna work
target
either?
like China has a bunch of people.
Well, Hypixel was f***ing around over in China. Someone there decided to eat a bat. You may be wondering, Skyboy, why is the music so happy? Because I stole Jet's music folder? No, but it's happy because for Hypixel, the deadly coronavirus spreading across the planet was awesome. I know what you're thinking, and yes, Hypixel started COVID because they knew once people were forced to quarantine, their player count would skyrocket. And to be fair, it worked. Hypixel, but especially Bed Wars and Skywars,
all the
were
like
incredibly
free-to-play and
popular during
online
lockdown.
games.
And since more
just
players
blew
meant
up
more
during
competition,
COVID.
people were improving at PvP fast.
Literally
New
just
strategies began to
made
form, like TNT jumping
games
and
that
ladder
would've never
clutching. They're
made it.
common now, but back then
And
it was about
YouTubers,
as crazy
too.
as me listening to any any music that isn't dubstep. Another big thing was bridging. Since both Bed Wars and Skywars relied on bridging across the void, entire servers were made to practice the best ways to do it. I remember one called MC Play HD, where originally it was just to help people improve their bridging for Bed Wars. But now, speedrunning the fastest bridging methods is a pastime of its own for some people. But even with all these awesome advancements in the community, there was a dark side too.
So they had a little
Besides
challenges.
the obvious issues of hackers I mentioned earlier, toxicity was
Sorry, let's see where they're at.
being exposed for doing the same sort of shit too. Like, it wasn't just the fans. I'm gonna name drop someone.
Oh my god, her skin is so cute.
It's getting weird.
All different types of content creators to
Let's see where if they still have that. So they were actually
which makes
doing
it almost
development on it,
impossible
though.
for Hypixel
They weren't
to
just
attract
hosting.
any sort of new audience.
The question you have to ask now is, was Skyblock the peak for Hypixel? My honest answer,
I mean, if they're still up there, they're good.
I just don't know. But here's what I do know.
They were doing like, it's like their
for a while.
releases,
Whether or
like
not I
how
can
WoW
recall
will
anything
have the
super
different
specific,
releases
I know
that keep
every
it
single
alive.
encounter, every new friend I met.
So, but it's custom. It's not just the jar file that they push out. So, but they're not talking about like the technology. But that's definitely something worth figuring out, because the tech behind it, you can't host that many on a single server like that. You got to do a bunch of crazy stuff. Like, let's see. Yeah, it'd be cool if I could just do like a multiplayer right on this. Capturing my mouse. Yeah. It's almost 12 over here, guys. So we'll go for a little bit longer, because I know there's an audience. Some of you guys are just waking up in the other side of the globe here. So I'm going to try to stick it out for another, we'll see if I can do a couple more hours, but yeah, this is what? He bought a farm. I thought he didn't have any money, dude. This is the dude that left LTT. I'm gonna check that out. And actually, well, I'm gonna stay off that one. Give him a little bit of views. All right, guys, give me a second. I'll be right back. I am going to step away for a moment. I'm going to mute. Let's see. Oh, that's cool. All right, I'm gonna unmute, guys, but I'm just getting some more caffeine over here, so I'm still around. That looks like drama. Let's see. Man, I'm starting to see some of this Andrew Tate stuff. That might be something new going on. But yeah, give me a second. I'm just gonna get it ready. I'm gonna stay hot, Mike. Sure, that sounds great on stream. It's honey. That was honey. It wasn't me. You know, I was trying to figure out what I should do for music or something to like keep background music going. And let's see. Hold on a second. It's complaining. Audio streams current bitrate is lower. Oh. It's because I was muted. YouTube's a little bit paranoid, which is good. It's letting you know something's wrong, so that's pretty cool. But yeah. But yeah, as far as like the background music and all that, get it going. I might actually just, where's it at? That right there. See where the video's at. Get that to play some background music. That'd be pretty cool. Between videos. Just might be a little bit too loud. I don't want it making noise over me. Oh man, the bricks and minifig thing. That is something. All right. I'll do window and camera, and while I'm waiting on the tea here, I'll step away in a bit for
I know
it.
I might look the part, but to be honest with you, I was extremely nervous when I purchased my very own farm, which somehow...
Oh, see, I thought he was
Why is there a
broke.
rock here? Has
Now
the
he's got a
space
farm.
and the bones to, at some point, be the property of my freaking dream. But
I mean, good for him,
as
but
you should
still.
with any property purchase, I made dang sure to have it inspected
It's a
by
lot
a
of land.
professional before buying it. Wouldn't want any surprises, you know? Oh no. And as you can expect, this nearly 50-year-old
not
house
concrete.
didn't exactly pass with flying colors. It had septic problems, whew, an aging roof, a little guy. What's all this stuff stuck on here? Oh my God,
Stucco.
I've discovered a few more problems. And by a few, I mean a lot more problems, even some right now. This is the old vines. This is under the
Yeah,
paint, dude.
about
It's
old
like
house.
if somebody painted the house with paper towel. Why would they do that? There's ivy everywhere. It doesn't even come off, and it's probably been dead for like years. How did I not notice this before? It's already growing back. Ew, it is all sticky. Ew. There's now English ivy inside
so
my
he didn't get
house. Please,
scammed.
anyone that knows how to get rid of
Clickbait.
ivy. Treatment stuff is off. Lovely.
Yeah, you're gonna have to redo all that. That's like
Cubic feet
normal
of
stuff.
Catalytic carbon. I tell
And
you
that stuff's
what,
expensive,
when we filled
too.
it up, you're supposed to let it soak for a bit. And I was like,
Like,
why do
it's
you let it
expensive if
soak?
you're
You
doing
wanna
it for a
flush
normal
out?
house. You got a
Because it
farmhouse with no
chemically
plumbing?
reacts, which is kind of scary, but damn, does it ever work. Who's that? Is that the Rippy? Oh, give me a kiss. For a couple
See, this is a
sediment
peak right here.
filters and a carbon block filter, which polishes the water. Whew, gets that nice little flavor at the end. Whew, delicious. Ain't no Dasani up in this house, boy. We got
Yeah. that's
smart
fine.
water. page.
I mean, it's cool, but he's gonna. It's like a house renovation thing. He's gonna be doing a lot of stuff. YouTube's richest 12-year-old Ryan's. I actually have seen that. I've actually seen that. Or is he probably because he's in like
You're
India?
on
I
track
bet
to
his
be
audience
a
is
teenage
huge.
billionaire. How much does Ryan get to keep of all this?
Oh, be careful, Ryan.
People recognize me and be like, hey, Ryan. I just realized that we're
Yeah, he
famous.
started young.
What's been the biggest sponsorship that you've said no to?
Millions of dollars. We lost revenue of 70%.
I just pushed through.
You're the first creator ever to have a Macy's
Wow,
Day
dude,
Parade
that's crazy.
balloon and to have a product in Walmart that sold over $1 billion.
To just go from just a regular immigrant family and then now full-length feature movie, that's a big step.
If like Ryan were to call it quits, what would happen?
You would be
You're very
screwed
good at what you do.
for sure. I mean, he's the whole
Guys, I'm
image.
so excited for this interview. I mean, it's so
Like,
rare to get all three of you
you
together sitting
re-aired
down, so
old
thanks for joining
stuff.
me.
Thanks for having us.
Okay, I want to rattle off some firsts that you guys have done because you guys have really pioneered so
Where's
many
you from?
things on YouTube. You are the first creators to have a product line in Walmart, which has now sold over $1 billion. You're the first
That's
creator
cool.
to have your own Macy's Thanksgiving Day balloon.
that's his whole
and
life,
You're the first
really.
creator to have an Emmy-nominated show, Ryan's Mystery Playdate. I feel like you guys have dominated YouTube, but the kid side of things doesn't often get the same credit.
Right.
I wanted to start off by just pulling this video that I found because it's you guys in Walmart, and Ryan, you have a police escort in Walmart, which was crazy to see.
How old were you? Do you remember?
That looks like 4 or 5.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, dude, that's his whole.
Yeah, so the
was he
reason
like
why we
12
did
or
that
14
is
right now?
we had a limited of time to do fan meetup, and we weren't able to get through all the fans in time.
Yeah, because some of the fans, they drove hours
Let's see
just
how many
to see
subs
us
he
in
has.
Bentonville.
Yeah, it was incredible because before that, this is our very first fanny meetup, and sure, you see the numbers
they're
on
talking.
screen, but it doesn't translate
Ryan's
until you
World.
actually see it in real life.
Oh, yeah.
So when we saw that
The
all
movie?
these people drive from afar,
guess they would put
flew
it
from
on
afar
YouTube,
to
right?
just come see us, I think that was the big moment,
Wow,
right? That we
40.3
realized,
mil.
like, oh, there's actually people watching us,
Hey, guys.
I mean, those numbers are crazy. You guys have over 10 different YouTube channels, over 80 billion views across them.
That's
You
insane.
have a mobile game with 34 million downloads. I want to break down Ryan's World from the business side. How big is the team that runs this? And take me through like how you're able to maintain this. Then we'll rewind back to talk about how this all happened.
Yeah, for the production side, we own the studio in Houston. It's called
Oh,
Sunlight
they're Houston,
Entertainment,
dude.
and we
It's right
have
next to me.
full-time employee, about 30 to 40 employees, and it breaks down to video
Yeah,
editors,
it's, well, born and raised in
producers,
Houston.
animators, voice actors, on-camera talent, script writers. They're all producing contents for YouTube, and some of the stuff it's outside for YouTube.
That's pretty cool.
Outside
I'm gonna get
YouTube.
my T-Walls going.
But yeah, our company is mainly working on the production side of the content, and then we partner with Pocket Watch to produce Ryan's World toy products and TV series. Also, we partner with Pocket Watch to produce TV as well. So YouTube production, we mainly handle it, and we produce over probably 20 videos each week.
Each week?
Yeah.
Wow.
Not all of them has Ryan.
Yeah,
That's what
yeah.
you're wondering.
But the reason why we streamlined the work on the production was because we wanted to minimize Ryan's participation on the camera. So we introduced animated characters who could take over some of the camera participation. So we minimized Ryan's filming time each
That's a
week
whole
to
studio,
30 minutes to
for
1
sure.
hour.
Oh, wow.
While we're producing that amount of the content.
And
They're
Ryan,
pushing
what's
10 to
your
20
day-to-day
videos a
like
week
in
and
the content
different
and the videos that go out.
Talent.
Well, usually we film on the weekends because that's when I have the most time. Because like other
definitely a whole
days I have
studio.
school and then extracurricular activities. So yeah, that's usually when I film and stuff.
I
But
want
he's
to
really
rewind back
popular
because
in
right now,
school, which you
billions
might
of
not
views,
actually
big
like.
Team, that's so much to take in. But to me, as a new dad and a full-time creator that runs like a lot of things with my wife, I have to ask you guys about the days that you guys decide to quit your job. Because Luann, you're a chemistry teacher,
Yes.
right? Sean, you're a engineer. Roughly, like, how much were you
Makes
making
sense.
at that time, and how did you decide, okay, you know what, we're gonna let go of these professions that were more stable to go and invest in a YouTube channel when YouTube was still much like earlier than it is.
It's the time to do it when it's
Just
new.
you, building your app.
You know,
on base 44.
like they built it
Describe it.
when YouTube was building its
And it's
audiences
real.
when they were building their audience.
Yeah,
So
it wasn't really
move.
well known that you can monetize contents back then. You know, it was very early on, and you know, when I voiced my idea of leaving the company as a structural engineer and creating the studio, a lot of my bosses were concerned. Just thought it wouldn't be a actual career.
Yeah.
So that was kind of conversation that I had with them. But you know, when I first look at Ryan and his fans and his content,
go
what I
through, see
noticed
how he-
was, you know,
because it's
often
53
the
minutes,
YouTubers
so
were seen as
I'm not gonna go through all of
affiliated
it, but that's pretty
people who
impressive,
promote
man.
other content or other brand.
Yeah.
But when I see Ryan and his fans, I feel like Ryan himself or his channel itself is a brand. And when we noticed that, we thought it's something that we can scale it up, and then with support of the production team. And yeah, it's something that we can make it bigger. We thought it has a huge potential, even for Ryan's career too. We felt like it could lead to something else, which really did. It led to him being on TV and a movie eventually, and a voice actor. So we're glad.
Into daycare, paying.
That's
Different
cool.
than-
All right, we won't go through all of it, but yeah, they're at a 40 million subscriber channel, billions of views. So that's pretty cool. I ate every burger in America. Yeah, that guy's just a goner. I don't think you can do that and like still be around. I don't know. Papa John's? What? What happened to Papa John's? Dude, like YouTube's becoming a expose for a lot of things, it looks like. I know Speed kind of blew up, but I think he's dying down a little bit. He's doing like the classic streamer thing. He just focuses on YouTube. He doesn't do Twitch. Oh yeah. I think the studio is actually his channel. Yeah, it is. A lot of hard work, time, and effort. Hopefully he mentions that part. Dethroned after 10 years. All right, we'll see who's got who overtook him. I do not know. That's cool. I'll check that on another time. I don't know what the Boring Company does. I know he's got a lot going on. Yeah, AI in the thumbnails is terrible. All right, we'll check out a couple things. We're actually planning on launching a podcast
Most
format,
people
so that'll be
explain
pretty
Speed's
interesting.
success with personality, chaos, or luck. But after studying
'Cause
years
it's
of his
hard
uploads,
to
I found a repeatable system hiding underneath almost
kinda stay
everything he
interesting
does.
talking
And
to
that's
yourself, you
important
know?
because building an audience through
And I don't
live
wanna keep
streaming has
watching other
never been
people's stuff.
harder. With millions of creators competing for the same viewers, simply going live is no longer enough to grow. I spent thousands of hours breaking down channels into practical strategies. And after analyzing more than 100 hours of Speed's content, here's the framework that gained him 622 million views last month. Since mid-2022, Speed's content has followed a simple 3-step formula. And it all starts with step 1, breaking the invisible ceiling. You see, every single piece of content published on YouTube has an invisible ceiling. There's a maximum amount of views a video can reach, and it's determined before it's ever even published. We can see this invisible ceiling and how Speed broke through it by comparing his content in the first month of 2022 to what he was making in the last month of 2022. The most obvious difference is the average view count, but when you look closer, the uploads actually follow 2 completely different strategies. In January of 2022, all of his videos were improvised desktop streams. Using a just chatting or gaming format, it's just Speed on his computer in his bedroom with no set content plans. The majority of these streams feature Speed interacting with his audience and playing popular video games like Fortnite and Five Nights at Freddy's, while occasionally going on Discord and Omegle. The content is positioned well, playing video games with high TAMs. That is the total addressable market. which you can think of as the maximum size of the potential audience that would be interested in a specific topic. So he has the potential to reach a lot of people. But in order to be successful making content with a high TAM, it needs to be something that aligns with you as a person and be something you can stand out in. The reason video game content isn't scalable for Speed is due to the fact that he's pretty average at video games. Having it as his main source of content as someone whose personality initially drove his increased views and subscribers limited him as a creator. So what exactly did he do to go from having 3 million subscribers at the start of 2022 to 15 million at the end of it? On YouTube, you can break viewership up into 3 sections: core, casual, and new viewers. These spontaneous desktop streams mainly appealed to his core viewers and some casual, and in January, that was the only content he was releasing. The reasons his content is alienating new viewers is due to the language he uses in the titles of his lives, which are lazy and really only understood by returning viewers. A large reason for this is because it's impossible to effectively title your live streams when you don't know what you're going to be doing in them. When we look at the December uploads, however, we see more of a balance. 8 of the 20 videos were IRL streams, and 6 of them were something we consider growth videos. These videos are focused on a subject, not just his personality, and they're meant to bring in new viewers. And what subject did he choose?
Let's play football.
Over the course of 2022, Speed made one of the smartest decisions of his career, and that was to rebrand as the guy that loves football and is obsessed with Ronaldo. But it's not just as simple as that. There are a few things that contribute to how he was able to obliterate the view ceiling he had at the start of 2022. The most obvious being the new addressable market that he's now tapped into. He went from the TAMs of the video games he was playing to the TAMs of the biggest superstar in the world with 670 million followers on Instagram. In the biggest sport with an estimated 3.5 billion fans worldwide. Now, the less obvious thing he did was how he shaped his content. In December of 2022, he had 4 Outlier videos tied to the World Cup. Learning from those videos, he developed repeatable formats that have since been responsible for 7 of his 10 biggest live streams. It's essentially a cheat code. With his brand so closely tied to football, all he has to do is show up for a major football event and it's viral content. That's the power of a large total addressable market. For him to reach these large numbers, only a small percentage of football fans need to be interested. The content doesn't need to appeal to everyone. It just needs to resonate with a fraction of a massive audience. But replicating Speed's success isn't as simple as just starting to make football content. Many creators have tried and failed or only achieved a small fraction of what Speed has. And a large reason for that is due to the second part of his formula, the momentum arc. It's Speed's solution to the live stream
do any of y'all actually watch or
that limits
sub
a lot of creators.
to Speed?
So what
Do y'all
is
care
the
for
live
it,
stream
or-
paradox?
'cause I know
You see, live streams are a
his
bit of a
audience kinda
double-edged
grew
sword. On one hand, they're
over the
great
past
for building an
2-3
audience
years
because the
around the
creator
world,
can
but-
directly interact with viewers and build connections like no other
I don't know
form of
like
content
where
can.
his
But on the other hand,
target
live
is,
streams have a massive
like who's
problem.
following,
They're
especially
not
if he's,
evergreen,
you know,
searchable
doing
assets that the
football
algorithm
streams
can
now.
promote 24/7 like normal long-form videos. They heavily require an immediate spike in real-time metrics for YouTube to promote them to larger audiences on the browse page. This makes it a lot harder for streaming content to attract new viewers. Most streamers try to
Algorithms a
solve this in
pain,
the same
dude.
way. They make
It's
a
easier, I
massive
think, on
amount of
videos
short-form
than it is
content, whether
streams,
it's from
'cause
clipping
videos,
the most
people just
entertaining
watch
moments
over
from their
time when they
live
want to.
streams or creating
Live streams, you gotta
dedicated
get it,
short-form
like, in the
videos.
moment.
They simply need to use other mediums to grow their audience. Speed, of course, does this, but there's something else he's figured out to solve the live stream paradox. Take a look.
We're about to go see Ronaldo, bro. Okay, first of all, I came here to see Ronaldo. Where's Ronaldo at, bro? Where's Ronaldo at?
What Speed has done is steal a mechanism from your favorite TV shows. He doesn't think of content in terms of individual videos. He thinks in terms of story arcs and sagas. Every stream, clip, collaboration, challenge, or world tour becomes part of a larger narrative that fans can follow over months or even years. This is important because audiences feel far more invested when it feels like they're watching a journey rather than just isolated pieces of content. You see the stories start to unfold in short form, so you turn into the live stream to catch what
I'm gonna just pause real quick. I was on a couple of see people coming in on Twitch and YouTube. So just letting you guys know that we're actually trying to be more consistent with our streams. We are gonna try to figure out how to do more live formats, but we're at least getting the rhythm down, getting the tech figured out. So in the meantime, we're just doing a little bit of reaction content, and we're actually scripting stuff up for a podcast that we're wanting to do. I think it might actually be this Saturday. And we'll start to create a rhythm on that. So we'll see how it goes. So we're going to have our just live streams that are kind of day-to-day, just winging it, reaction content, that kind of stuff. And then we'll have our actual official podcast where we'll have original kind of sit-down Q&As on the weekends. So
what you hope will be the finale. The perfect example of this is Speed's Ronaldo saga. These are 4 examples of streams where Speed thought he was going to meet Ronaldo. These streams could be viewed as failures, but in fact, they're the exact opposite when you look at the numbers. Each failed attempt helped to attract a wider audience and built more anticipation around the moment that he would finally get to meet him. But there's more to it than just that. Take a look at what all this hype and anticipation results in.
Biggest fan.
That's funny.
IShowSpeed.
He's creating the hype with the drama. That's
$100 to someone who subscribes. Big moment generates multiple opportunities for views.
Hypixel was once the untouchable god of Minecraft.
We're actually going to see.
To put this into
they
perspective,
said they got dethroned on their
all-time peak
server.
was 216,000 players. Second place, Mineplex, once got a Guinness World Record for reaching 34,000. That wasn't until the fucking Donut SMP,
I don't know how they
a server owned by a
measure
YouTuber who, in
Still
the
don't.
grand scheme of things, isn't even that big. The Donut SMP peaked at over 56,000. Hypixel may have once been untouchable, but these days, Donut SMP smokes it most of the time. To understand how they did it, we need to look at why Hypixel was so successful in the first
300K
place.
max,
I'll call
that's
this the old
insane.
model, and I went deep for this. I used to have
That's
a
like
server
not a
myself.
server.
I interviewed 4 different
That's a
server
whole,
owners,
like,
and I even
network
graphed the
of
historical player
servers
count
and
of
stuff.
top servers for the past 13 years.
That's a service,
So let's just
you know?
jump into it.
It's crazy.
Back in 2015, the top 10 servers all had over 10,000 players consistently. These were massive with 30 minigames each. The big 3 were Mineplex, The Hive, and of course, Hypixel. The most popular YouTubers would constantly post full server Let's Plays on their main channels. And while it made for
I think
good,
we might
easy
spin up a
content that you
server
had to upload
actually,
daily,
and then
there was
just
another reason they did it.
play
The
it on
servers
stream
paid
with
them
everyone.
a fuck ton of money. But
That'd be pretty
eventually,
cool.
this old model stopped working.
Dude, that's a transition right there.
There's 4 reasons for this.
Yeah, well,
Reason
I'm gonna
1,
run a
Mojang
Minecraft
got a
server
lot
for sure.
stricter with
Where's
their
that-
EULA
where's that
guidelines
link
for
at?
servers, banning pay-to-win.
Probably just
completely.
download the jar
This was a
file
huge
right now,
controversy at the
probably.
time, with hashtag #SaveMinecraft literally trending on Twitter. Now you may be a little NPC and think,
pretty cool.
Mojang, I hate pay-to-win.
Is it
But
download
they
link
went
here?
overboard with it. They banned it in single-player game modes. It was a mess.
Yeah,
and
it's
I mean,
right
the
there.
real issue for me is the gambling.
Yeah, dude,
rates
just
anyway.
download it and
so
run it.
naturally,
It's
this led
simple.
servers to be orders of
Super
magnitude
simple.
less profitable.
Don't
I'm
need
not
the
saying
browser
servers should be as
thing
pay
anymore.
to win
It's
as
not
they
even-
were back then, but
not
there
even
should be a
worth it.
balance. Honestly, Donut
You're gonna do the
SMP
real
is a pretty
deal.
good example. These servers couldn't offer YouTubers tens of thousands of dollars to be exclusive to their server for months on end. But that's fine. Like I said, YouTubers still need easy daily content.
We'll
Right?
just make it free and
Reason
make it-
2. The
make
YouTube
it,
meta itself started changing.
stream
Daily
online
Let's Plays don't work
content,
anymore. It's all these
we'll just
broad
stream it.
appeal, well-edited videos with interesting concepts. Kind of hard to make a video like that on Mineplex Super Smash
way more
Bros,
fun.
no matter how cool it is.
I'm pretty sure
To
it's
make
gonna
things
get
even
crazy if we
worse,
just leave it
Reason
open.
3. The 1.9 update
We're gonna put all
completely
kinds of weird
overhauled
stuff on it.
PvP. Especially at the time, an enormous amount of players preferred the old combat system. So the big minigame servers all hard stuck on 1.8.9. Not only did this mean these big servers felt progressively more dated, but it fragmented the PvP community into 2 separate versions. Just a big avoidable headache. And finally, reason 4. Bedrock servers became a thing around this time, which took some players away from Java and created an enticing opportunity that many Java server owners wanted in on. Both the Hive and Mineplex eventually moved entirely to Bedrock and shut down their Java servers. Mineplex since shut down.
Oh,
completely.
so that's
So
the
between all of
Bedrock
this,
one.
the old minigame servers were a shell of what they once were. Except for one. The old model they got their start with may have stopped working,
see
but
the
they
difference.
uniquely didn't need it anymore.
And Bedrock Edition are the 2 main versions.
All their competitors just
Crossplay,
shut
modding,
down, and they had enough
Java,
residual popularity that YouTubers
PC with
realized
deep
it was
modding.
genuinely worthwhile
Oh,
to
Bedrock
get a
works on
start
everything.
making Hypixel content. As the only major server left, if you made videos
Windows,
on
Mac,
a
and
server,
Linux.
it was going to be Hypixel. They also rewarded people with YouTube rank, something Donut SMP
dude.
would do later. YouTubers would get views making
Why would I
videos
not
on
do Bedrock?
Hypixel, and Hypixel would grow as a result, which meant even more views on videos. And if that wasn't good enough, for Hypixel, it was literally free. Even if it was hard to make a wide appeal video on a minigame server,
Java,
some
that's
people
what's like,
still
Java's
managed.
slow, dude.
And at this point, YouTube was still kind of in an in-between phase where you could make a little more Let's Play type videos and they'd still sometimes
just gonna
work.
do the Bedrock
so
one.
Hypixel kept hanging in there.
That's
Then
like-
they
I
decided
hate
to start
Java,
the
by the way.
pandemic, which absolutely exploded their
We-
growth
we are,
even
like, getting
more.
rid of it.
And this
It's just so
culminated in a
bad
huge
with
event on
performance
Hypixel
and
Skyblock
everything.
with Technoblade, leading them to
It's
reach
terrible.
a peak of 216,000 players. Now, to be fair, like I said, this was during the pandemic.
What
It's
is
a bit
it?
unfair to compare that
you
to
gotta
modern
buy it?
servers.
It's fine.
But
It's like-
Hypixel
wait.
was still
Hold
doing
on, let's see.
absolutely insane. But Hypixel understood that the YouTube
This is like a
landscape had
server
shifted.
that you-
So they
I
took
wanna
the hint.
host.
They basically gave up on updating their minigames and went all in on Skyblock. But even this dried up eventually. So how did Hypixel decline so badly? Wouldn't you like to know? This video is sponsored by Boot.dev. If you're at all interested
Windows,
in learning
is
to
this the
code
Bedrock one?
yourself, it is still
Yeah,
genuinely
so
achievable to get a
Bedrock,
coding
if you wanna
job
run
without
multiplayer,
college. And with the price of college, it's really not
Bedrock
a bad idea. So with that
dedicated.
context, one of the best ways to learn to code is with Boot.dev. I've tried to learn various
Windows
programming
and
languages
Linux,
throughout my
Ubuntu.
years, but nothing has
Okay,
taught
it's
me
still
as
not
fast
bad.
as
Those are
Boot.dev. I
two
mean
systems
that,
I learned.
because it's actually engaging. Like take this lesson I just finished about
Barely any
bitwise and
requirements,
operators.
simple.
It kind of looks like an if statement, but instead of checking whether something is true
It's
or
pretty
false,
cool that
it
they like
somehow
make it
checks
open like that.
numbers.
Too.
The shit
Yeah,
is so
screw the
confusing. I've
Java
never done
version.
anything like
I don't
this in
wanna deal with
Java.
that.
Boot.dev helped me actually wrap my head around it. Also, the guy who voices this Loki sounds like Canadian.
According to Stack Overflow and their methods of slicing the
They
data,
could run
it's
a
from a member
Minecraft
of
Bedrock
one of the
server. That'd be pretty
1,000-player
cool.
coalition.
Because it'll be way faster. It's gonna have way more scalability. Works on cell phones, consoles, you know, desktop, everything. So that'd be really neat.
Go to boot.dev and use my code SKYBOY for 25% off your first year. Yeah, so what happened to Hypixel?
Matter of
Fast forward to
fact,
now, Hypixel's
I would say I
player
can
count
run
is
it on my
nothing
machine
compared
right
to
now,
back
but
then.
I
If
want to
had
run it in a
guess,
way that
Simon,
it like
the owner,
stays
probably
running.
got busy with Hytale and other
That'd
things,
be
and they
pretty
just
cool,
didn't
though.
have the leadership to adapt. Clearly, though, Hypixel realized focusing on their minigames wasn't working. The old model, one huge minigame server
let's see.
propped up
If
by
I want the
massive
front end,
YouTuber Let's Plays, no longer exists.
Can I download
And don't just take my word
Minecraft?
for it. Take MineHub. Close one. It's a modern minigame server that regularly gets literally 0 players.
We dropped the ball on marketing.
Not-
That's the
not
first
the server.
thing. It's a minigame server, and you need
Dell.
generally more than 2 people to queue games.
Oh,
and
digital
so if there's
code. I
no
was like,
one
why is
on,
Dell?
someone logging on for the first time is not going to be able to play.
This is almost identical to what
Let's see if it's
happened
an
with
app
Tubnet.
store.
And even MCC Island, while definitely
I'm just
not
trying
a
to, like,
flop, its player
not
count
make
is
it
dwindling.
complicated, 'cause
Even
who
at its
knows if it
peak,
is.
it barely cracked 1,000 players. Or take this server, Archaic. It's a hardcore faction server, which was another huge genre back in the day.
We tried to commission just like dedicated videos, and I think that doesn't really exist anymore. Like we put like a big chunk of money into one specific integration into
I mean,
this
it's
YouTuber's
right on the
video
front,
Jude
Minecraft
Low. It did
launcher.
really
Is it
well,
really?
but it just really
Is it
didn't
really that easy?
drive any players to the server.
I personally get tons of random offers for dedicated videos from servers, but like,
Building something great takes more work than
That'd be
anyone
crazy.
realizes.
What is this? It's not
Writing
just
the code.
It's the base camp and all things Minecraft.
Making the
on it.
right
Yeah.
plan. Thinking of all the edge cases.
So you get Minecraft for Windows.
Testing every detail before it ships.
Build the Minecraft
And
Java
being there,
edition. It
the
comes with
moment
it, which I
something
don't
goes
care
wrong.
for. Brave the dungeon.
The best work has always come
I mean,
from great
that
teams.
might be cool.
Now,
I don't know.
every engineer has a team. With Devin,
All right. I'll make a note
Hey,
on that.
I'm Daniel, founder of Ridge. And every year we do something
away.
kind of crazy. This year, we're giving away a Lamborghini Storado, a Hennessy Velociraptor, a Ford Bronco, or $100,000 cash. And all you gotta do to win is go from this to this.
I make video essays. How on earth am I supposed to do that? I don't honestly even know who's saying yes to these. Another issue Archaic had is how complicated hardcore factions is.
You're gonna default with 1.01
More positive updates that make server development way easier. Like, look at the insane amount you can do with resource packs now. Surely it's still possible
So we're
to make
actually,
a popular
been
server,
tinkering around
right?
with Godot,
But
which is pretty
who
cool.
would
It's a
be
lot of
capable
fun.
of figuring this out.
Chat Parrot was right. Fail to plan, and you'll play. If you fail to plan, then you're planning to get. Bro, if you plan to fail, bro, if you don't plan anything,
That's
bro, if you
painful.
fail to plan,
I can't.
No griefing
That's-
became impossible.
That's too hard to
so
watch.
he made a decision that most server owners would be terrified of. He totally reset it
Shut
to
it
allow griefing. Suddenly, there were real stakes. People were raiding bases and betraying their stacked teammates on this Minecraft SMP, and it turned out they loved it. Within 6 months, Donut doubled down even more by making the server hardcore mode. If you die, you're banned for 2 days. So, this is the first thing Donut SMP did right. It may
Oh, yeah,
sound
people are gonna,
obvious,
like,
but it helps a lot to
turn
have a
on each other if
genuinely
you do
good
that.
gameplay loop.
That's
It
a
has a lot of
whole
the same
nother
appeal
style
as
of
those
play,
old
dude.
school faction servers. But this deathban feature had another advantage. It let Donut advertise on TikTok as a hardcore server.
Freaking
I guess
Donut, is
people
that
on
his
TikTok
handle?
just like that.
Like, who's
That's
this
when
guy?
it
Is-
really started to blow up.
This is also around the time he joined the Awaken SMP, which is one of the main scripted SMPs pumping out videos. I'd wager he learned quite a bit about TikTok from the people there. Okay, the Awaken SMP is like the PayPal mafia. A huge amount of the top tech industry people worked at PayPal at the same time. So the conspiracy goes that they're all connected in some grand scheme with like the government.
I didn't know that.
The Awaken
I knew
SMP
some of them,
also
but
had a
how
bunch
many?
of people mysteriously go on to
I'm about to
scripted
pause that
SMPs
frame.
pumping out videos. I'd wager he learned
He
quite
just
a bit
threw
about
that
TikTok
PayPal
from the
thing
people
in
there.
the
Okay,
middle of
the
a
Awaken SMP
Minecraft
is like
video.
the
Like, how would
PayPal
you?
Mafia. A huge amount of the top tech industry people worked at PayPal.
Let's see. All right, we know Elon Musk for sure and Peter Thiel. Those are the two. Oh, okay. So Elon Musk is in everything though, so that doesn't really count. And we know he was PayPal, but I guess that was LinkedIn, Affirm. That makes sense. I mean, oh, YouTube. I don't know the rest of these dudes. What are they doing at YouTube?
PayPal
Like,
at the same time.
they have a channel?
So the conspiracy goes that they're all connected in some
not
grand
connected,
scheme
dude.
with like the government. The Awaken SMP also had a bunch of people mysteriously go on to be famous. Coincidence? I'm guessing the reason Donut blew up on TikTok is because of the deep state.
It's almost like if
But
they
he
worked
also
in
knew how
tech,
to
they're going to
leverage
keep
it.
working
He
in
didn't
tech.
just own the server, he no-lifed it, which is actually
Right.
his second strategy. He makes content on his own server non-stop. His brand is like inseparable from it. This is
crazy.
a much more recent thing, but just to prove this, like MCPVP, which is another server
Craziness.
Donut streams a lot, also has like a ridiculous number of players. The common denominator is Dr. Donut. Back at this point though, Donut was still a relatively
So it's like
small
you can host a server, but
Twitch
you
captures
gotta
growth at a
make
few
it
hundred
interesting.
viewers. The
I think
platform
part of
just
once you got a
doesn't
good
algorithmically
user base on
recommend
there,
people the same way
it's
YouTube
gonna get
does.
interesting
And to
because
make
people are just
things
gonna do
worse-
shit. Like,
I'll see you guys.
it's gonna
all.
get random.
Never. I was gonna say next stream, but it's over.
Twitch just banned him. Turns out he didn't meet the age requirement when the account was made, and they didn't let him appeal.
When
but
it was made.
in his darkest hour, instead of giving up, he just started streaming on YouTube. Especially back then, YouTube was really not built for streaming. But Donut ramped up the amount of clips he was
So
posting,
these are old.
and somehow it worked. He quickly grew past the point he left off at on Twitch.
I guess
He
Minecraft's
continuously
pretty old,
one-upped
now
himself
I
by
think
doing
about
these
it.
crazy viral things, including going to a Minecraft prom with the girl I'd end up dating. Imagine getting cucked by Dr. Donut. But because of all this clip farming,
Oh,
he
so
built
he
one
knows
of
him.
the
That's why he's
strongest
talking about
communities on Minecraft YouTube. Even just being a streamer makes people way more invested because they're spending so many hours watching him compared to if he just posted like monthly videos. Maybe I should take notes. By this point, Donut SMP had grown so big, it was a genuinely
crazy.
good opportunity
See,
to
that's
make
what I
videos.
might host a
Plus,
server
as
just to
a
get
survival
crazy
server,
builds
it lends
going
itself
on.
perfectly to the wide
That's
appeal,
what I'd be
videos
stoked
that
to
tend
see.
to do well on YouTube.
But
Donut
I'd be
SMP
worried like
videos
someone's gonna
started
create a
funneling more
giant
players
wiener,
into
you
the
know?
server, which then
Like,
made
and
it
you
even
log
easier to
out,
get
you
views
go to
on.
bed, you wake
And like I
up, and
mentioned
then it's gonna
earlier,
be
they also
weird
have a
stuff
media
on your
rank to
Minecraft
incentivize
server.
people to make videos on it.
It's gonna
This
be
is
open,
textbook
and you know
exactly
that's
how
the
Hypixel
first
got so
thing people
popular
are gonna
before
do.
it. I also just want to quickly add 3 other honorable mentions for why
Like,
it's
it's a
successful.
given.
Reason
It's
one,
always
obviously
done.
It's somewhat pay to win, but it's not egregious.
You get
and
like
there's
a
no gambling
moderator or
craze anymore.
something.
It just feels a lot more fair than something like, I don't know, like complex gaming. And reason 2, it supports Bedrock players as well as Java, which is a massive player base Hypixel just can't reach. What portion would you say are on Bedrock, just like seeing who's on?
Well, it's more than half. It used to be every one of them was with a dot. Like there's like 2 full tabs with the people with the dot, which is Bedrock.
This gambling is insane, by the way. There's public VCs where they're screen sharing map art and asking people to gamble.
Anyone want to gamble with me?
And finally, reason 3, the head admin Pedro made this system where they could actually support all 30,000 plus people in one world, which is the first time a
So
server's been
Java's
able to do
PC
this.
only.
Donut didn't have any
Modding
sort
is
of
the
plan.
big
He was
draw.
just super consistent,
can
just
mod like
trying
crazy.
things. And eventually, something
But it's
worked,
gonna
and he
perform like
stumbled
crap,
into this
for
new
sure.
model for servers in the modern era. So, what exactly is this new model that Donut SMP used? This is not an easy question to answer.
Wow.
To really accurately get to the bottom
Minecraft
of it, I
is
vibe
bundled
coded
with
this
Windows
website.
11?
Thanks to the public domain data collected by whichever saint
way.
set up Mindtrack, I was able to make this chart with historic player counts going all the way back to 2013.
not true.
For everything before 2017,
get it
it's
from
just
the store.
manually
That's like-
scraped
that's
from the
not
Wayback Machine, so it's not as reliable. There wasn't data for that. These player counts are all averages throughout a given day, which is why you don't
It
see
might be on
Hypixel
the
ever
ad
actually
remove.
getting to 216,000 here. The site is linked in the description if you want to explore it yourself, but it's going to pretty quickly get out of date, so I don't know how useful it would be. At first glance, we can learn 2 things. 1, Bedrock servers are actually significantly less popular than Java. So if modern servers are dying, that's not the main reason. I'm not even convinced Bedrock as a whole has more players than Java, but I don't have time to explain that right now. The other thing we can learn is that it seems like servers were pretty big in 2015, then Hypixel specifically just went absolutely insane, and now servers as a whole are generally a little smaller than before Hypixel's dominance. But once you understand how this new model actually works, you'll realize that's actually somewhat misleading. This is Freshlol, the owner of Fresh SMP. He made a really interesting comparison between these old minigame servers and what we see now.
Yeah, the nature of those game modes is you want a lot of players on a singular server, but then actually in each minigame, there's not too many players in each one. It's sort of like the landscape we see now, where there's hundreds of servers with maybe like a couple hundred people.
If you're Mineplex, you can't compete with a server that only does one game mode but does it way better, because Mineplex's resources would hypothetically be just like spread so thin. And this is much more of an issue than in the past, because the server landscape is much more competitive than it was, probably largely because people who grew up on Minecraft servers are now old enough to make their own. So basically, today, there's less servers with like tens of thousands of players, but there's a lot more servers with like 800 to 2,000. This is something my chart would have completely missed because it only tracks the top servers. Servers might be a little smaller than they were, but overall it's probably pretty similar. So that's the first part of the new model. Focus on doing one really good, unique game mode right. It helps to do something people see and already know they want to play. For example, this is Jedism, who owns a fairly popular server called Crystal Chaos.
You do /kit and you basically get a free set of armor and crystals and an entire inventory of totems. Go to the PvP zone, you can kill people, or you can just build a base, make farms.
Most people would rather not grind anymore, so this works perfectly for that. This kid is 14, by the way. What the fuck am I doing? The second part of the new model is to balance marketing with actually listening to your player base. You need both.
Because a lot of servers maybe do a lot of like super being involved in the community, or they just try to market it. If you just mass market it and you're never actually there, it's hard to build that core audience.
If you only listen to your players' feedback, you'll have great gameplay, but you'll sit at 0 to 10 players. And if you have only good marketing, you'll get a few hundred for about a week and then it'll die out. Usually in that case, it's a cash grab, so they just dip after.
Yeah,
and it seems the proven best way to market
that's
your
why I
server
don't want
is
to do it.
set
I
up
want
an
it to
environment
like
where it's genuinely
last.
worthwhile for small YouTubers to make videos on it. Like Donut SMP, but also
Make it
Hoplite.
fun.
In some ways, it's even easier to make a trapping video on Hoplite than your average SMP, but for both of these servers, they lend themselves well to modern broad appeal thumbnails. And the third and final part of the new model is to actually be on newer versions. Hypixel's popularity is dwindling partly because it feels ancient and stale. Supporting Bedrock is a nice bonus too, but I'm not going to call it a requirement. So, that's the blueprint. The old model is dead, but Donut SMP somehow managed to create a new model entirely on its own, which is really impressive.
That's pretty cool. It's a cool video. Skyboy,
check out this video on screen about
366K. Let's
Minecraft.
see. He's got some good stuff. This guy might get a sub. Well, not on my personal because we don't do it on the work one. But yeah, his stuff's pretty cool. Is he a dev or videos are fake now? Oh wow. What are AI Minecraft videos? Yeah, I like his channel. It's pretty cool. Well, if y'all want to give him some support, he's got some good content. Definitely a lot of Minecraft content. So, I mean, the Bedrock servers are pretty easy. They're just linked right here. Watch, I'm gonna get this link and kind of download that. But it's Windows and Ubuntu. Not even like Debian, right? I think it might work with Debian. My guess is because it has a GUI. It's using like a GUI, so it's going to need a window manager. So you need either Windows or like Ubuntu, right? Because other versions of Linux don't necessarily have that. Yeah, Ubuntu, LTS are later. Other distributions are not supported. So, I mean, you can run it on like a PC or something. But that's interesting. I don't know why they did it like that. But yeah, that's pretty cool. I might actually run one. But if we do, we're going to make it like, it's got to be like a competition, or we got to set some kind of record for sure. Like, I'm not going to do it just to do it, right? It's got to be fun. Got to do something crazy with it, you know? So last time I played it was on an Xbox, so I don't even know how it's going to be now. I know they're saying this about AI, but it can be pretty slow if you don't know how to use it. You know, I feel like there's too much dead air. I'm about to like hop on my piano and get some background music, but I don't know if it continuously plays. I don't like the dead air, and I don't want like a copyright hit. Successful gaming channel, and I see Minecraft in the background, or whatever, whatever that is, zombie looking thing. All right, guys, I think we'll go till about 1. Try to get some exposure to some of the other folks on the other side of the globe, but switch over. I think we've been going for a while now. Let me see how long we've been going for. Yeah, man, is it dated? Let me pull this forward. Sorry, I'm checking the like metrics on stuff here in the stream and making sure everything's looking okay. So YouTube's pretty fancy. It's got a lot going on. Twitch, it's a little different. I'm used to doing Twitch because we used to do that all the time. But honestly, I do kind of like the features on YouTube more. But like the way it's handling the shorts feed, you got to be a dead center or you end up getting cut off. So it's kind of weird. Really weird. I mean, like shimmy over or something. Yeah, it's better. All right. Yeah, we'll go for a little bit longer. I think we've been going for, let me see. Is that right? Is it like almost 2 hours? What? That's crazy. I'm not even gonna. That screams clickbait right there. So I'm just stay away from that. But even if I'm not able to do a long like single stream, I'll probably cap it about 7 more minutes from when I started. Because I think we started a little bit before 11. We're doing about a 2 hour, so I'll cap it at a few more minutes. And even if I don't get a lot going on right now, I might try another stream same day or something just to get a little bit more going on and get our rhythm down. Spends a day with Mr. Beast. I remember they did like a video or something talking about, because Mr. Beast is the biggest YouTuber with videos.
Every day, people juggle so many different
IShowSpeed, I think, is the biggest streamer on YouTube, specifically YouTube.
Cannon over there.
Because like Kai Sinet's huge.
The hell? Yeah, I wanted to shoot Speed out of it, but they said there's a chance he could get hurt. So.
Really?
Yeah. Do you have an X?
Do I have an X?
He would have actually done it too.
Yes.
Yeah, right here. We can.
I have an X. Everybody, you got an X as well.
Yeah, we all do. Would you spend 30 days handcuffed to her?
Would I spend 30? Hell no.
You wouldn't.
I would not spend 30 days handcuffed to my ex.
We found a couple. They broke up 4 years ago. They had not talked to each other since. And then we brought them in here. They were blindfolded. We took the blindfolds off. And I said, if you spend a month handcuffed to each other in here, come on in. Here, let me.
This video gonna be crazy.
Yeah, let's turn the lights on.
Is he gonna show him how?
We had to run it back with a different couple because the first couple didn't want to get handcuffed.
Oh, that's like one of the studios.
So this is the two contestants.
That video gonna be crazy.
This is Josh's money, her money. So if they win, we just separate it.
And it already's been filmed.
Yeah, it's already been filmed.
Wow.
So check this out. You'd find this cool. Since they're handcuffed and they literally can't take it off, when they had to use the bathroom, This is the toilet in here. We had to cut this slot so they could put the handcuff here. So while she was on the toilet, or he was on the toilet, they'd have to use it like that. And you could close the door, and the handcuff goes through here.
What?
Yeah. So
That's a good idea.
Yeah, it's a really cool video.
That's gonna be sick.
Yeah.
I ain't gonna
That's
lie.
wild.
Would you do that?
Well, there's 4 of them. There's
Absolutely wild. Would not do that. Would not do that. Right, let's see what this girl's got about YouTube growth.
I was able
comments.
to become a monetized YouTube partner within 6 months of taking YouTube seriously. And you probably clicked on this video because you're tired of pouring your heart and soul and energy and time into a YouTube video just to upload it and get 100 to 200 views each time. You've been posting consistently, your editing has gotten better, your thumbnails look great, but every time you open up your YouTube studio, those watch hours are barely moving. Trust me, I've been there. And if becoming a monetized YouTube partner right now feels impossible to you, then just know that I am living proof that you can become monetized by the end of the year. Most creators don't make it because their content is bad. They don't make it because they're focusing on the wrong things. And no one has ever really taught them how YouTube actually works. So today, that's why I'm going to share everything that
Boom. Gotta close that. Didn't like that one. Oh, view botting today. Are they? Do big streamers view bot?
View botting is just as bad. This is a video that Ludwig posted that I'm in part of, talking about Twitch view botting, YouTube view botting. Like, a lot of the view botting that goes on in Twitch is like such a gray area, even for a lot of social media like influencers themselves.
At least for
where
Twitch.
If you're a viewer, you don't know who's view botting. If you're a streamer, you don't know who's view botting, and we don't know how many bots there are. Some people, it's obvious. Before we even start, there is one recent person that is view botting or getting view botted, not even view botting themselves, right? So there's
I'm not gonna go through the whole 45
There's people
minutes,
that
but I'm
view
curious.
bot and there's people that get view botted. Most people,
I'm curious
when they're
to see who
talking
the
about
view botters
botting,
are.
people that are view botting themselves. But then there's instances of people that actually are just getting view botted and it's not even their fault. I would say one instance
Yeah,
is
like someone
Asian
else
Jeff.
will be paying for it.
This is a grossly inaccurate representation of what view botting is. Asian Jeff went from having like 300 viewers at the bottom of April to 100,000 viewers in a day. That is not
100,000.
Like, what we're going to be talking about in this video is like people that are view botting a percentage of their audience to kind of give them a one-up on their competitors while still maintaining a majority actual human viewership and just botting like the back end to make it, you know, flesh out their numbers a little bit better. This is just like 99% view bots. You know, like 100,000 viewers for 5 hours, 600 followers. That just doesn't happen. This, he actually did gain 3K followers. So I think the view botting is actually getting him viewers, but I did see him tweet out about how somebody's view botting him and he wants Twitch to help and they're just not. So it's called motion. I mean, maybe I would say like there is a percentage of these people that are real, just because you're like, if you're view botting 50K viewers, you're reaching the top of recommendation pages. But I'm just like surprised Twitch hasn't done anything about that. 7 days in a row. I tapped into one of the streams. He was doing a cooking stream, had like 100K viewers, and just nobody was typing. So it's like, chat is not a definitive way though. There's a few ways you can tell whether or not people view bot, but none of them person I like to watch. It's like, oh no, this is just Joe Bart under another fucking username. The burnt penis. Yeah.
Burnt. Oh man. All right. Anyway, guys, I think we're officially right at the 2-hour mark. So I'm gonna call it. We might actually do something with the Minecraft server. Maybe that would be pretty fun. You can kind of run it on everything or anything really. So maybe we'll just get a standalone machine and run the Bedrock edition. It'd be a lot of fun, right? I don't know. If we do that, I think we can have some contests or competitions, do something like competitive stuff with it. I almost want to just toss it on my machine right now and give it a go, but I don't know if it's like an installer or what, or if it just runs. Let me check out real quick. Let's see. Is the Minecraft? So what about Windows? Server. Installer or just an exe, because this is just an exe. I can run it right now. I don't know if I want to install it on my machine, but if I can run it, run a Minecraft server and it'll just like test it out. Okay, so go to the Bedrock one. Well, that's the jar file. Oh, config files. Oh, that's cool. So like I could totally just run it. So I might be able to run it right now. Let me check that out. If it's that easy. Let's see. Let me check this out, because that'd be pretty cool. Windows, agreed, download. Let's check out, see if we can run a Minecraft server. If I run it though, ton of stuff. There's just been doing a lot of work. All right, cleared that up. Boom. So I got the Windows one. Unzip the container file, start the server by running it. And then it's Windows. Okay, cool. So straightforward. Super simple. So I'm going to keep it here so it doesn't sync up files. And I'm going to just do an extract. Boom. Boom. Because that'd be pretty cool. You can just run a server just like that. That's taking a minute. It's a lot of data. Dude, that's taking a while. I'm on an SSD. Let me make sure. It might be, hopefully it's not making my stream choppy. All of a sudden my GPU just kind of got busy for whatever reason. I wonder. I'm going to do a little test here. Oh, okay. So if I bounce it around, I'm going to actually check that Streamer University thing while it's extracting. Yeah. Okay. So I'm seeing how it's kind of, because I got a lot going on. I'm watching both streams on Twitch and YouTube, but like at 720p, 60 hertz. And I got the OBS encoding and has a preview. And so... yeah, this computer's like working hard. But I noticed like the GPU will kind of bounce around depending on what I have on the preview, you know? Because I guess the encoder is working harder. But looking pretty good. Dude, this is taking a while. I think it has a lot of files. It's all like a bunch of JSON files. The Bedrock server, I guess it's all configured with just JSONs. I guess it's the mod files. So you could probably just do whatever you want with it. That's crazy. It's probably wide open and you just like drop in new files and do whatever you want. Because like if the game was built into a binary, it'd just be one single like large file with a handful of like assets, right? But all I'm seeing is a bunch of JSONs of like, well, those are language files, but glyphs and different titles. I'm guessing they're, let's see what they got. Just finished. Different environments or something. Let's see what they got. So, Behavior packs, vanilla. Oh man, it's got like a bunch of different versions of it. So this is wide open. It's kind of a bunch of different builds. Vanilla chemistry. So, and they call them behavior packs. Config files. That's just one file. That's simple. Data, bootstrap, easy. Just a JSON. So it's the behavior packs. And then there's definitions like features and stuff. Super birch tree feature, tall grass feature, and it's just like JSONs. That's pretty cool. And then like the server resource packs, and then vanilla again, all the different builds. So this is super customizable actually, which is pretty cool. All right, let me run the Minecraft server, see what happens here. Which I'll try to capture the window once I get it going. Oh, dude. Okay. I'm going to allow, because Windows is like prompting and stuff. It's all the security stuff, so I can't just show it easily. But it's got a starting server. It's got an ID. Okay, so I got a Minecraft server running just like that, dude. It's pretty easy. Running on my Windows machine. It's not an installer at all. So it generated a vanilla world. I'm hoping if I run this, like it saves people's states and stuff, so it doesn't just like, you know, people lose their stuff. But I don't know how to connect to this thing now. Let's see. Because I've never actually ran a Minecraft server. Time for AI. I just ran a Bedrock Minecraft server on my Windows PC. How do I connect to it and use it? And I'll try to host it out on the internet, but I don't know how I'm going to be able to do that. So, okay, I need Minecraft Bedrock. Let me see if I can get it from the Windows Store. Because I'm sure I have it on like my consoles, right? Yeah, this needs to be on a server for sure. Bedrock. Boom. Oh, man. It's like a Game Pass thing. I have it on my deal. What's the launcher have? I have it on my Xbox, but I'm trying to see if I can get it on PC so I can like actually show it off. And it'll be cool if you guys connect to it and I can actually like play it, you know? It's taking a minute. I think I'm like, my computer is starting to yell at me, man. Hopefully I don't crash the stream. It's not happy. Dude, that was easy though. So it says it's got world's Bedrock level DB pack. So it has a database for sure. So no packs were loaded up. Oh, I see it now. For gameplay and land discovery, and for gameplay. So I see the ports. I'm gonna grab that. So just gotta like run it through a router or like Cloudflare or something. I might do it through Cloudflare. That'd be a lot easier because if you can bounce around wherever and still run it, that'd be pretty cool. So its port is 19132 for gameplay and discovery on a LAN. So like, I'm gonna see. Okay, Microsoft Store is not pulling it up. My computer's not happy. All right, local host. So I can connect from another device on the same network, just using the IP. IP and port. So there's a couple things there. Share, so public IP, but it's not, I need like a route. So it's got to get through the router. I think a cool way to do it, I'll have to do it later because It's going to be easier with Cloud, like setting up a proper server and getting it through Cloudflare, you know. But I definitely want to test it on stream. That would be really cool. That'd be really, really cool. My GPU though is with all, I'm literally streaming off this machine, so my GPU is pissed off. Like it's working its tail off right now. Let me disable this preview in OBS and give it a break. This thing is hot. Let it breathe a little bit. So there's a Minecraft launcher on the Microsoft Store. And if I'm looking at it, here I could try to switch the capture on this, but let me see. Try to show you guys. Window and camera. Let me flip it over. Show you what I'm talking about, and then I'll flip off of it. Where's the properties for this thing? Updated OBS and oh, there it is. Okay. Boom. Again, hopefully it doesn't crash. Like I'm doing a bunch of stuff right now. But basically, this is the Microsoft launcher. It's got good reviews, or Minecraft launcher, sorry. It's got good reviews. So it seems good. They got like the, I guess, dungeons, different add-ons. Man, they're making a killing off this, by the way. That's insane. But it's a one-stop portal in the Minecraft universe. It gives access to the following: Minecraft for Windows, so play in creative mode with unlimited resources, or mine deep in the world in survival mode. Crafting weapons and armor to fend off dangerous mobs, create and explore. So with friends, yeah, I think that's it. And then the Java edition, I'm gonna just get it and see what happens. That's it. Yeah. And I'm going to switch off this because it's killing my machine. Please don't crash. Please don't crash. It's going. Machine is dying, dude. Sorry if the stream is choppy, guys. I can't tell. It's it's going. All right, I guess I still got a stream. Let's see how it sounds. It's going. Yeah, well, it's got a little delay, but still got a stream. Yep. All right. Cool. I'm still live, guys. Man, I did not know I could push this laptop this hard. It's crazy, dude. I'm actually shocked. Probably wasn't great running an installer. So I'm gonna let it run and then get my screen back. Let me turn this down though. I'll let it do its thing. And then we'll see, man. We're going to try to see if we can actually connect into the game. You know? That'd be pretty cool. Because I have it running locally, the server. If I, it's like a proof of concept. If I'm able to at least like connect and play, that'd be pretty cool. So let's see. All right, hold on. Oh man, it's scaring me. I'm gonna click the play button. All right, it's launching it. It's gonna I'm just waiting for this machine to crash, dude. If it goes, then I'll pin the window and we'll check it out, you know? Let me see. Is it the Minecraft launcher? Let me see. Yeah, it's got it. Let me pin that. I can't pin it. Well, it popped up a login. Dude, I guess I'm gonna think about it real quick. Can I use that? Let me try that. Try that account. Dude, I think it's doing it. Can I do that? Let's see. It's trying to get in. I think it's trying to use a personal login, so I might need to switch it up. Let's see. Let me try a different one. All right. Cancel that. Dude, let me do a different account. Okay. Well, maybe I just don't log in. I don't know. We'll see what happens. Did it kick out? Updating Minecraft launcher. All right, so it's getting set up because I had to get the client on Windows, right? So if it has it comes with the Bedrock and Java edition, the base editions, then I think we can roll with it. So everything's a launcher. Okay. So sign in with Minecraft. All right. Sign in, sign up. What's it going to do? It's going to do Windows again, right? Okay, I'm going to try a different thing. And I don't want to put my email on the stream, guys, so give me a minute. So I don't have to worry about that, you know? Keeps trying to do a pass key. All right, let me do that. It's being a pain. Use pass key. All right, I'm in. It's kind of weird because it's our work computer, so we have our work Windows accounts hooked into this thing, and so I don't want it messing that up. But it's trying to do the Game Pass thing or the launcher, you know. So now I got to make sure it doesn't, because on Windows machines, your work accounts is how you do everything. You can log in on the computer and everything. So if it disconnects, not good. That's drama I don't need. All right, looks good. I think it's the game engine or Game Pass thing. Accounts. Yeah, of course they don't match. Okay. So I'm going to change the launcher. It's complaining. I got to mix it. I got to change it. Oh, that's so all right. And do that now. So it's you got to bounce between accounts. All right. What's the security key? Dude, I guess they don't like passwords anymore. They won't let me do a password. I guess I'm doing my phone again. See if it'd do it. Yeah. All right, so I kind of had to use a gaming account. Do not do that. No thanks. All right, cool. I think I can actually get it now. Get it in. So we'll almost there. Minecraft Bedrock Edition. Gamer tag. Nope. Nope. Sorry to make me go through all these prompts. Cool. All right, I'm in. So I got the launcher. I don't know what it's doing. All right, it's got a video. Man. Can I edit it? Everything's gonna pop up, dude. It's so annoying. All right, do that. Edit. I got it, dude. There's a bunch, like just 50 pop-ups. Okay, I'm changing my gamer tag. There we go. Cool. I don't know what the icon is. I'll check that out later. I'll throw Halo for now. Boom. All right. Now we're in business. All right, so get off of it. All right, so Java home, we got Java Edition, which can just play a demo, even though you can download it from the web. I'm gonna see what they got here, and then Bedrock. Play demo or buy now. So I think you still have to like buy the edition, which I might give it a shot, and before I do it to see if we can like do a server. Let me close and open it. So it pulls the new stuff. Because I got the server running on here. So let's see what we got. And just checks for updates every time. It's annoying. I just want to get in, right? This is why it's taking so long. I don't know what it's complaining about. I'm gonna let it be. All right, so we got Bedrock. I'm gonna just do it as a demo right now. Oh man. Okay, gotta install it. Here we go. Pain. That's why it's a launcher. All right. Anyways, it'll be something we could try out next time because I won't be able to get it on stream that easily. And I'm going to see like on mobile if it's a thing, but it's just it's too much work. Yeah, it's just way too much work. So nope, not doing it. All right, guys, thanks for joining the stream. We'll just we're gonna probably cut it because we're about 2.5 hours now, so we did way longer than we thought we would. But yeah, y'all have a good night, morning, afternoon, wherever you're at, and we'll see you on the next one. Hopefully we'll do daily streams throughout the week, and then we're going to try to do a podcast this Saturday, so we'll see how that goes. So y'all have a good rest of your day, and see y'all later.